In Module 1, I'm going to be talking to you about getting out of being and feeling financially broken to the point of making that decision, the decision to create a better financial life for yourself. When it comes to money, we're either a master of money or a slave to it. And the first step is recognizing that you need to do something. Because when you're a slave and deep in debt and not making ends meet, it impacts every aspect of our life. Our relationships are not good. We're stressed about money. We're short-tempered. Has that ever happened to you? Have you been stressed out about bills not getting paid, stressed out about your credit score being low? I'm here to support you in recognizing it and taking control and creating the life that you deserve. One where you become a master of your money. Let's start by talking about financial mindsets. Our financial mindset is a product of our experiences. What drives our financial decision making? A lot of it is determined by the habits we have, and our habits sometimes are formed subconsciously. We don't even realize it. I'm going to challenge you to think about what your parents talked about money in a minute. But money is very emotional, and our personal values as it relates to money impact how we choose to earn it and spend it, and sometimes how we get ourselves into debt. So I challenge you, how often do you really look at your financial situation? If you are like most people I know, they don't do it very often. And when they do look at it, they don't look at the complete picture. And so we're going to be looking at your financial situation, recognizing where it is today, and creating the steps to get you to where you need to be, to not just be financially secure, but to start playing big and create a foundation of financial freedom for yourself and your family, and building and creating generational wealth. But first we need to start from where we are today. So I ask you to examine your financial values. Financial values include all kinds of things. Do you want to be able to buy X, Y, and Z, purchasing power? Maybe your financial value is one of security. You just want to be able to pay your bills. Maybe your financial value is you want to make enough money so that you can help others. Maybe it's because you want to appear wealthier than your friends, status symbol. Or maybe you want to be able to validate that you are successful, validate your own self-worth by showing that you are successful financially. Or you may just have the basic need, the financial desire to be free and not be in slavery to money. And that is a financial value I support, because I want you to become, and I'm going to support you and help you and mentor you through becoming not a slave to your money, but a master of it. And some basic financial values may be simply meeting a need, filling a need, being able to buy what you need to survive. And then many people have the need of looking good, keeping up with the Joneses. So go through that list, rewind it and go back through it and measure which one of those financial values ring true for you. It might be several, but it's important to understand that so that it helps you in understanding your motivation, some of the financial habits you have, both good and bad. And that's the starting point, because it helps you tell your story. Our financials, our financial position tells our story. The numbers are like reading a book. We look at cash flow patterns, and certainly we shared these in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You think about the income statement at the top of the page and the balance sheet at the bottom, and when we first get out of school, we're making money and we're spending it. Money in, money out, money in, money out. It's all, we're living out of our income statement. Then you fall in love, you have two incomes, and all of a sudden you have two people making money and the money's coming in and it's still going out, but now all of a sudden there's a second car or a bigger house or bigger TV and you have debt. And so you've got income and expenses and debt, but the asset column is still pretty empty. You're your only asset. If you don't get out of bed and go to work, you don't have income. And that's something that many of us, the vast majority of us, that's the cycle we follow because it's what we've been taught. So I challenge you to ask you, what did your parents say about money? Write it down. Did they say things like, we can't afford it? Did they say, pinch our pennies? Or, my favorite, money doesn't grow on trees? What do all those statements have in common? They're negative. So as children, we hear money negative, money negative, money negative. It's no wonder we grow emotional about money. We're afraid we're never going to have enough. And then when we become successful, we're afraid we're going to lose it. That fear of money is subconscious, and that fear of money drives our decisions. We want instant gratification. You know, we have easy debt so that we can get that instant gratification, and we end up finding ourselves digging a hole. Are you in debt? Be honest with yourself. What do you say to yourself about money? Are you a saver? Are you looking at ways to invest your money? When you get a raise, do you go out and spend it? Or do you think this is more money for me to invest? Be honest with yourself and determine what is your money talk. And how do you overcome adversity? I have friends who like to go shopping when they're depressed. Not a good financial habit. What happens to you when you are depressed or you have an adversity? How do you react? Challenge yourself to really look in the mirror and determine what your financial habits and recognize the negativity in your life. And then think about it as a parent. Are you saying those same things to your children? When you say, I can't afford it, or we can't afford it, that's a statement. It's a negative statement and it closes the mind. You feel yourself like sink. It's negative. Just by changing your dialogue, changing your words, instead of saying, I can't afford it, we can't afford it to your children or to yourself, change it to a question. How can I afford it? How can we afford it? By just changing the positioning into a question, you trigger your entrepreneurial spirit. You trigger your imagination. You want to find out ways to afford it. So you transfer your thinking from negative, end of the line thinking to triggering entrepreneurial excitement. Which one do you think will give you better results? And at the end of the day, a lot of people believe we live in a world of scarcity. I do not. I believe we live in a world of abundance. I want you to believe that we live in a world of abundance. But when you're living in fear of money, and when you are living in debt, it's hard to see the world as a world of abundance. You will see the world of abundance in this program. You have a choice. You can live below your means, or you can expand your means to live the life you want. That's the world of abundance, and that is this program. This is what I'm going to guide you through, how to expand your means to live the life that you choose. The choice is yours. The first step is acknowledging that you need to do something different. The second step is analyzing what needs to change. So I talk about the choice of words as it relates to I can't afford it versus why can't I afford it? You know, let's figure out how to do this. The word budgeting, I don't like that word either. It's a negative word too. I say, let's create a spending plan. We all like to spend money, so let's create a spending plan. And in that spending plan, we're actually going to look at how we've spent our money over the last 6 months to a year. We're going to compare it to national averages, and we're going to define what are our needs and our wants. Now, a lot of people's wants, they define as their needs, so I'm going to challenge you. But what is it that you need to survive? Shelter, food, all right? What are your wants? What are the things that you want to create the opportunity to generate the revenue to be able to afford your wants? It's stuff you want, but it's not a necessity. Your perception and my perception may not be the same, and I guarantee you I will challenge you on that, because your perception is what triggers your financial decisions. And your financial decisions are going to change today. In every module of this segment, I'm going to challenge you to make better financial decisions, changing your financial habits to better financial habits, and generating better financial results. Get ready, we're going to start the exercises for Module 1.